Professional speakers, welcome to the National Speakers Association of Southern California chapter member spotlight of the month. I'm Sam Osborne. I'm the Director of Marketing and a board member. It's an absolute pleasure to have you listening along to this interview today. This month's member spotlight features Justin Bookey, leadership speaker, trainer, and author of Pong Leadership. Now, Justin brings a unique blend of insight, energy, and interactive learning to his audiences, often using live ping pong demonstrations to illustrate powerful leadership principles. So today, I'm going to be asking Justin just a few questions about his speaking journey and his experience with NSA SoCal and the ideas that drive his work. So please welcome him. Justin, how are you today, my friend?
Doing great, man, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Where are you on the call today? Where are you actually?
Santa Monica Canyon, LA.
Beautiful, beautiful. And what have you been up to today?
Today, I have been, like many early weekdays, I'm examining my schedule and looking out this week, this month, and this quarter, trying to figure out which flagpole events I have, which big tournaments I have, and which interesting professional opportunities I may have.
Very cool. Look, I have to compliment you on the ping pong artwork on the back wall there. I think that must be, is that a real wall?
That is a real wall, and this is good radio. If it's just audio, I will have to describe it.
Yeah, describe it for the people who are listening. We can maybe make a thumbnail so that people can see it as well.
Sure. I'm sitting in front of a piece of artwork that I made. I set up my Zoom background just so it's not too cluttered. I'm in my home office, and I wanted something kind of flavorful on the wall, and I couldn't find anything that was really ping pong themed, because that's what I'm all about, and we can talk about that. But I actually experimented, and I call it a ping pong mandala. It's 6 paddles in a geometric shape that could be representing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I talk about Pong types, and there's 6 Pong types in some of my talks. So there's 6 paddles up there, and it's hexagonal, it's balanced, and yet there's different colors, and just kind of a visually interesting shape.
Oh, I tell you what, it is on brand. It is striking. It's beautiful. Like it's very cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. For the listener, we're going to ask Justin a few questions about his speaking topic, his speaking journey, and then I'm going to be asking him some questions about his experience of being in NSA SoCal, and we'll finish with a couple of fun questions. All right, Justin, here we go. How did you first get into the speaking and leadership training?
I come from the legal industry and then marketing and brand strategy industries for decades. And I had a lot of chances to give presentations and attend presentations and all sorts of seminars and so forth. But I'd never actually held myself out as a speaker. And I wrote a book that came out in 2024 about leadership, because I learned so much about leadership. I was so fortunate to learn from leaders in 2 different worlds. And I distilled that into the book, and it just became a natural outcrop. Okay, the book is out there. I'm promoting the book. And people would ask me how to really implement these lessons. And of course, I love to talk about it, because that's how I've tried to live through these lessons that have really guided me so much. And so that was the genesis. It's like, I guess I'm a speaker now, and but it makes perfect sense. It wasn't an accident. It was part of the whole plan. First, let me distill these 18 Pong principles, I call them, into the book, and then after the book's out, it's an easier lever to pull.
Yeah.
Right. To get opportunities to talk about it.
Thank you. Now, your work, clearly, it centers around ping pong leadership. And for the listener, Justin has got the book in the back there, a really cool uh, cover. I like that. You'll definitely have to share the link for the listeners. So, what inspired the idea of ping pong leadership?
I played my whole life, and it's the game has been a haven for me. I was a shrimpy kid. I got pushed around and teased, and but it was cool. Say in high school, I realized I could push back and beat up the big football and basketball players playing table tennis, and then get respect from it. And it was fun. It was social, and I realized I had a natural aptitude. And I played competitively from a young kid, but there were two separate lives, and I mentioned it earlier. I've learned from leaders in two worlds. I always kept table tennis kind of separate. I'd, work hard in school. It was important in my family. School comes first. But then after school, I would find ways to go play with in adult leagues to up my game and really focus on the game. And later on, I trained with Olympians and world champions, national champions. I was very lucky to be able to do that. And I learned deep leadership lessons from them because in order to be, say, an Olympian or world champion, you can't just learn technique and you can't just be dedicated. You've got to learn so much about what it takes to be uncomfortable and comfortable and win and lose and overcome great obstacles in your life and your industry. And so it goes far deeper than just how to hit a great backhand, right? Okay. On the other side of my life, I was a lawyer and a marketer and a business strategist. I was also very, very lucky to learn from great leaders at Disney, Sony, Toyota, Honda, these major world-class global organizations. And then it dawned on me well into my career, oh, you know what? These principles that I'm seeing both sides, leaders on both sides use to succeed and overcome obstacles, they overlap like 95%. And I found myself using the techniques I use to survive and thrive in table tennis. I would be unconsciously using those in my workplace. And so it's like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. Um, this whole time I've been living these principles without even realizing it. So when the pandemic came, I just had a little more time to reflect, and I distilled them down into a book of these 18 Pong principles.
That is mastery. That's mastery level, in my opinion, to synthesize, two identities or two worlds into one and to create something unique from it. That's so congratulations to you. It's an epic journey you've been on.
Yeah, it feels like a journey, and it's still going. I mean, I don't feel like I've arrived yet. I feel like it's an ever-present journey, right?
Yeah. Justin, what do audiences usually remember from your presentations?
Hopefully something positive and high impact. I I usually have a ping pong table
Yeah.
at my
I saw
presentations.
the video on your website. It's great.
Oh, thank you. So that ideally is pretty memorable because it's a way to have something fun, dynamic, and high impact where I can show, say, here's ready position, and that we all have the need for readiness in our lives and careers. Here's how it looks in ping pong. Here's how you need to be ready to receive a serve or receive a shot that's going 70 miles an hour and still get it back with accuracy. And then turn to the audience and say, and here's how ready position applies to your careers
Mm,
and your individual
beautiful.
positions right now, right? So it's not just a theory floating in the air that I'm talking about. It's something they can actually physically see and hear on stage. So I'm hoping that's what they might take away.
Yeah, I can see how that would be valuable to people. And plus, I mean, ping pong's cool. It's fun.
I think it's
I
cool.
think people grow up playing it, whether it's at home, if not competitively. I know I did. And
Yeah.
it's something you can have while I know in Australia people would like play it and there would be a barbecue and a few people would come over. So
Yeah.
I can imagine you giving a presentation on leadership and having the table there and breaking these things down would be incredibly valuable for people and a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love to hear stories like yours. Like, yeah, growing up in Australia, Europe, Africa, Asia, South America. I mean, it's everywhere. It is
Yeah.
truly global. It's the number one most played sport in the world.
What?
That's
No
not
way.
me. That's
Really?
the Olympics.com website says that. So it is truly ubiquitous and you can put it up anywhere. I call it the most inclusive sport in the world because there are wheelchair players, there are little kid players, elderly players. My dad is 99 years old and he can still play. It's amazing.
And sometimes I've seen Instagram reels where the house cat will jump on and like try to tap the ball.
Yeah. Oh, there's all sorts of great. I mean, it's so meme worthy, of course. And hey, Marty Supreme, it's
Yeah.
having a bump right now in pop culture.
Nice. Justin, what's a habit or a mindset that has helped you most in your speaking career?
I mentioned ready position, and that's actually one that surfaces a lot. That's Pong principle number 6. What's your ready position? There are 18 principles, and I think they all. I mean, I wouldn't have written them if I didn't think they all applied at various stages of our life and our day. And um, but ready position to me is something that means you will never fully be caught off guard, even if life throws you some really weird curveballs or tragedies or huge challenges. What ready position really means at heart is you don't need to predict the future in order to react to it very well. Because in table tennis, for example, and every chapter, by the way, is two parts. There's in table tennis and in leadership, right? So it's just an easy division. Okay. So in table tennis, ready position is your crouch low, balls of your feet, hand and paddle are up in the middle of your frame of vision. So you can quickly go backhand or forehand, depending where the
Mm,
serve's coming. Your If you're a right-handed player, your right knee is 30 degrees roughly back from your left knee, so you're not actually just faced up square at the table. Gives you more leeway to crank your forehand. And there's several other tweaks you can do. Um, and if you understand the geometry of the table, it's all math and it's probabilities. You don't know where the ball is exactly coming, but you know the likelihood. And
yeah.
because you've studied your opponent, you're comfortable with your style and you're comfortable with the best practices and you've played hopefully a lot to get ready, you know that, oh, okay, never 100%, but it's probably coming here and then I'll probably hit it there. And this is what I'm better at. And this is what I'm worse at. Okay. To leadership, same deal. You could be a graphic designer. You could be a food truck owner. You could be a sales rep for the region of Southern Texas. Doesn't matter. Whatever your industry is, there are best practices. There are things you're good at and bad at. There are relationships you need to strengthen and ones that are strong. Um, AI is a great example of you better be ready, depending on your industry,
Mm,
and put it off or not, but at least acknowledge that it is coming in some form or fashion. And however you're comfortable with it, at least be ready for some form of incursion into your industry, right?
oh yeah.
Um, Always be ready to get education in any avenue that it's going to affect you. Always be ready to, I mean, when I travel, my ready position when I travel is I have, even if I'm, I'll be going out to a nice dinner, I find shoes that I can play ping pong in because afterwards we might be walking in a Paris suburb and we find a ping pong club. And I don't want to have slippery shoes because um, I'm always on the prowl and I can never turn down a good ping pong match. And so that's just for example, that's my ready position. I travel with a paddle and my wife has learned not to roll her eyes when the first thing I throw in my bag is a ping pong paddle. That's my ready position. And of course, I research ahead of time where the clubs are.
That's
Right.
dedication.
It's obsession. You can call it dedication. I call it, a lot of things, but okay,
Well,
fair enough.
thank you for sharing that about your speaking journey, Justin. I'm going to ask you some questions now about, your experience with National Speakers Association of Southern California. So, how did you first discover the SoCal chapter?
Honestly, I didn't realize there were local chapters. I was urged to join NSA National. I think I heard that from Chris Voss because
Yep.
I have seen him talk a few times. Says, "Oh yeah, this is a good way to go to really amp up your speaking experience and relationships. Okay, cool. I checked it out. Okay. Joined, met some great people, did a lot of online learning. And then they have some breakout sessions or monthly meetings you can go to just with smaller groups. We were talking and someone brought up, oh yeah, well, I'm a member of my, in my local Chicago group or my local Miami group. It's like, oh, I had no, I had no idea. Looked into it. Oh, there's a SoCal chapter. Okay, that would be great because I still miss in real life
Yeah.
meetups. Right. So I joined and I'm glad I did because first event I went to was a happy hour
And that's where we met.
that's where we met. That was great. And it just yeah, it's just so nice. There's just no substitute for
Yeah.
physical interactions.
Thank you, Justin. What's something that NSA SoCal has helped you improve in your speaking business?
I think it's those endless or those infinite little iterations that you accidentally learn when you hang around people that are rowing the same boat you're rowing.
Mm.
It wasn't a massive breakthrough like, oh, I need a website. It
Yeah.
wasn't like that. It was, hey, I'm a marketer, but it was more like just going to this last party. We had a really
The
fun,
80th and not the 45th anniversary.
yes, that
It
you
was an
did a
80s theme.
masterful
Yeah.
DJ job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
DJ
I had a
Sam.
ball.
That was great. Anyway, so just being there and hey, seeing these people in action, and now I consider them. I'm honored to consider them my peers, even if they've been doing this far longer and they've had far more success than me. I hope to learn from them. But just being there in the room and seeing some of them operate up close, and we did some little exercises. Like Mary was up there
Mm.
doing a little Lego exercise, right? Mixing exercises, and just seeing them action and being able to talk to them as a friend and a colleague afterwards. Like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, that's a cool little thing. Like, have you done that before? Oh, yeah, usually I do it this way, but because of this size room or this limitation, I had to alter it this way. Just those very collegial, casual interactions. I think those are magic. And it's not like it's a very formal interview situation or online video vault situation, which can be great too. But I just enjoy the kind of the organic interactions where we
Yeah.
exchange tips and so forth.
I love it for that reason as well. It's, you never know what you're going to get, even though the topic might be, like Sherry Fitz was talking about LinkedIn, but I get different ideas regardless of the topic because just from, like you said, talking to speakers who come in the room and you're like, well, what have you been up to lately? And what do you do? And yeah, it's really valuable for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and we all relate differently. I mean, when I first met you and you were talking about your very unique approach and your fusion of your life experience and your life challenges and how you channel that into very impactful speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Um, you're we all bring something different to the table and we're going to relate to different people differently and learn so much from that.
Yeah. Jason, what advice would you give to someone thinking about joining NSA SoCal?
Well, we all have our own journeys, and I think some people were checking it out actually at this last party. You were talking about
Oh
like,
yeah,
hey,
there was quite.
I'd never been. They came to an event. I think that's a good way to test the waters. I didn't even bother with that. I thought, I mean, I kind of knew, oh, this is a natural for me. I just signed up because it's like I'm sure it's an offshoot of the national and it's just going to be that much more localized and personal to me. It was
Mm,
kind of a no-brainer. But if you haven't joined NSA in any form, then yeah, maybe just check out one of the events physically. I think there's plenty of materials on the website too to
oh
get a
yeah,
feel for it, right?
yeah,
Or talk to one of you that are more involved in the
yep.
administration of it.
All right, two fun questions to wrap things up. If someone challenged you to a game of ping pong right now, what are their chances?
How big was my lunch? There's some contingencies there. Oh, it's a sliding spectrum. Are you a former national team member? You'd whip my butt. If you're a casual player, chances might be a little slimmer because it wouldn't be fair because I train all the time, so
You
it
train
really
and
depends.
speak, you play and speak at the same time.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people who do that to varying degrees.
Yeah.
You know, trash talk.
Outside of speaking and ping pong, what's something people might be surprised to learn about you?
I'm My cousin is Gabe Kaplan from Welcome Back, Kotter. That's a really obscure reference, but you know
Okay.
that sitcom from
I
like
have
the
no
70s
idea
and
what you're
80s?
talking about because I'm not from America. So,
Okay.
but maybe
Um,
our listeners will.
that's really obscure. How about I lived in India for a year when I was 20.
Yeah,
That
cool.
was
What city?
in Delhi.
Okay, what were you doing there?
It was junior year abroad. I was a college student and I studied economics and Hindi and traveled around the country. It was such an amazing, life-changing year.
Wow, that's cool. I want to ask you more about that. Well,
Anytime.
thank you, Justin, for your time. I really appreciate it.
This was fun.
And yeah, any final words for members or people thinking of joining? Or
I would say
what
it's
about some ping pong wisdom in a nutshell?
okay. I'll say this. Pong principle number 9, embrace your quirks. We all have something really unique about us that we may actually think is a problem or a weakness, and we are embarrassed about, but can
Mm,
actually be a strength. And that's what I've learned so much when I meet a lot of these speakers. They've turned a real downer in their life or a challenge into something fascinating to talk about. And so don't be afraid to embrace your quirks and run with it because that's what can make you really stand out well.
thank you, mate. That was a great amount of wisdom, and thank you for sharing your experience with our members. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you at our event. So I'm going to see you around soon enough.
Absolutely. Same here. And I look forward to seeing you and meeting some more people. And who knows, maybe we'll play a little ping pong sometime.
Exactly. And if you are listening to this, we welcome you to attend an event. Come and say hi to myself or Justin if you see us at an event. We're quite approachable, very friendly guys and gals there. So, and watch out for the next installment of NSA SoCal's Member Spotlight. And wishing everyone a great week. See you later, professional speakers.